exploring the Poconos by motorcycle, then on foot, plus healing from horses, and meeting the next generation of hospitality leaders.
Visiting the hometown of Hawley, rocking out with the new and improved Jam Room Brewery, talking fall foliage with the pros, and raising the next generation of Pocono farmers. Welcome to Pocono Mountains Magazine.
Hello everyone, welcome to the September edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm Brianna Strunk. Autumn arrives this month, and so does the beautiful fall foliage in the Pocono Mountains.
Yeah, Brianna, you're totally right about that. And there's a lot of different ways that you can experience fall foliage this time of year, from motorcycles to taking a boat out on Lake Wallenpaupack. And don't forget to vote for the Poconos USA Today Reader's Choice 10 Best Fall Foliage Destinations. That goes up until September 12th. We'll have more on that later in the show.
Yeah, so much to come, but first, let's see how the Poconos have been making the news lately.
Woodloch Resort made headlines again in Forbes for welcoming generations of families since 1958. The family-run resort near Hawley is a family favorite for its activities and treatment of guests as if they were, quote, company in our own home. The addition of the lodge at Woodloch also received a big mention in the article.
Here it's going to allow us to bring more people faster uphill. It's going to disperse people on some of those crowded weekends, and it's going to be a great improvement for the guest experience here.
Fox 56 News First at 10 reports on the new high-speed 6-passenger chairlift coming to Blue Mountain Resort this winter. Work is beginning now on the Main Street Express, which will accommodate about 3,000 skiers and snowboarders each hour.
Visitors can use the new Pocono Beverage Trail to see which breweries, wineries, or even distilleries are nearby. Employees right here at Barley Creek Brewing Company say they hope this will draw more customers through their door.
WNEP TV's Amanda Eustace headed out on the Pocono Beverage Trail Passport experience, stopping by Barley Creek Brewing Company in Tannersville. The report highlighted all the wineries, distilleries, and breweries that visitors can check into while experiencing the locally made spirits, brews, and wines throughout the 4 counties of the Poconos.
Any day you're in the Poconos is a great day, but especially here at Lake Wallenpaupack.
NBC 10 Philadelphia made another trip to the Poconos, this time to experience lake life. Sheila Watko rented a boat at Pocono Action Sports, drove up to the dock for a delicious lunch, then topped it off with some ice cream and shopping.
I just couldn't resist. I had to bring a little piece of Lake Wallenpaupack back to Philly.
Autumn is the perfect time to visit the Pocono Mountains, and there are plenty of ways to enjoy our brilliant fall foliage, including by motorcycle. Whether you're a Harley fanatic or maybe just getting into it, we know the perfect place to visit. But first,
let's ride.
Welcome to Pocono Mountain Harley-Davidson. I'm Fallon Knipe, and I'm the Marketing and Events Manager here. And what we have to offer here is we have a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. We have parts and accessories. We have an authorized service department, and we also have a huge selection of apparel. Our dealership is a huge destination, and we have absolutely everything you could want and need to take your Harley-Davidson out on the road.
Hello everyone, I'm Rick Petco. You might remember me from American Chopper on Discovery Channel. I live actually right down the road, so I used to travel up to New York every day. So I come in here, talk to the owners about just putting a fab shop here, and they went for it, and so this is what we decided to do. There's only about 2 or 3 different Harley dealerships in the world that actually have a fab shop like this. If you can't buy it, we can make it here, or just tailor it to your needs specifically. But I get to meet with a lot of fans, a lot of customers that come in. If you're in the Poconos and you want to come by, stop on in, say hi. We have a whole viewing window here, so you can watch us work.
Right now during the fall season, we get our fall foliage out, which is absolutely beautiful. A lot of our riders do love to take back roads. There's beautiful rivers, lakes, anything you can imagine in the Poconos. Our staff is what pulls us together, what keeps us all united as like a family, and we hope when you enter the doors that you feel like family as well.
Man, that was a blast. I wouldn't have wanted to have my first ever motorcycle ride with anyone other than Norton here from Pocono Mountain Harley Davidson. Thanks so much for the experience.
It was my pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Sure did, and you can find more information on PoconoHD.com. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strong.
Still to come on Pocono Mountains Magazine, we are back at the Jam Room Brewing Company on the Pocono Beverage Trail to show you how this place turned out. You're not going to want to miss how this place looks and especially what's on the menu and on tap at the Jam Room coming up.
Plus, a brand new way to step back in time in Jim Thorpe.
Jim Hamill and Brianna Strunk will be right back with more Pocono Mountains Magazine. A special thanks to our sponsors, St. Luke's Monroe Campus, East Stroudsburg University, and Lehigh Valley Hospital, Pocono.
Explore the Poconos during Hispanic Heritage Month, taking in the food, the culture, and the natural beauty of the region.
Sometimes my dad and me go on four-wheeler rides and we see tons of trash.
It's a little upsetting that, you know, people are out there throwing like things out the car window.
We have to be nice to our earth. Like the earth might break a little bit.
I'm thinking, why are we doing this? This is the only planet we have. We can't go to a different planet.
Pollution, yeah, that's all us. So if we made a problem with the earth, we gotta fix it, right?
Hey everyone, it's Jim Hamill, and earlier this year on Pocono Mountains Magazine, we showed you the transformation the Jam Room Brewing Company is undergoing here in Greentown near Interstate 84. And the guys who've been behind this operation have been through a lot together in the recent months, and now are ready finally to open their doors to everyone to check out all the great food and great beer they have on tap.
The time has finally come for the team behind the Jam Room Brewing Company in Greentown. The opening act for the brewhouse's new location has been the beer garden outside, but now the tasting room and the restaurant Soundbites are ready to rock.
Just to open the beer garden first and to be doing to-go sales, just to really, get our feet wet and really feel what it's like to run this place. It's a good transition because coming from such a small setup that we had before to something this size, it's been a little difficult sometimes. It's good to see what it's going to become.
PTN stopped in earlier this year as the crew was working nights and weekends to get the new Jam Room open. The partnership and friendship started 12 years ago after these guys started brewing in one of their basements. Then blossomed to a small location in Newfoundland 5 years ago, and now to a fitting stage for the brewery.
We've come a long way. I mean, we started off in a basement, the Jam Room, and getting to that first place, which was a lot of work, but really paid off, and it just got to the point where we knew there was no way we could just stay there at that little place.
So the brewing operation, the vinyl albums, instruments, and entire team made the move to this location just off the Interstate 84 exit at Route 507 and got busy building during a pandemic and eventually heartbreak.
And the walk-in cooler is bigger than the old Jam Room. So just to give you an idea of the sense of size.
Shortly after he showed us around the new Jam Room, Rick Schweizer passed away suddenly, leaving this band of brothers without a big part of the team.
Our partner Rick, he was awesome. I mean, he did everything for this place. Craft beer was his passion, and he wanted to see this place succeed. So to lose him all of a sudden was a real tough situation.
Every place you look around, we see Rick. He was a finisher for a lot of the things, so I mean, he started a lot of stuff too. He's here everywhere.
Welcome back to the Jam Room. I think you guys should take a peek inside, and I'll show you what's going on, from my brother did last time. This is Soundbites. You can see all the seating that we're going to have here. Over here is the kitchen. It's still a work in progress, unfortunately, but hopefully, before winter, we will be open in here.
Rick's brother AJ gave us the tour that Rick started, and the crew plans to keep honoring his memory.
I want to name, 10 beers after him in the beer garden, and I mean, just seeing everything that he did here for us to get this place open, and then for him not to be here now is really surreal. Yeah, it's a tough thing.
The Jam Room might be missing Rick, and Bill, whose basement and homebrew served as a catalyst for the Jam Room, is also battling health problems of his own. Yet the show must go on, and so the core group has grown larger to help get the brewery open again in full, including the new sound bites and those behind the scenes of making food to pair with the brews.
Take that twist that nobody really thinks of and put that spin on it, those things that you've been seeing forever, and just recreate them and reinvent them and try and do it right. We're definitely going to have a braised oxtail or a braised short rib over grits or polenta.
On top of that, the Jam Room will be expanding its brewing operation by year's end, meaning it will have plenty of these music-inspired beverages for fans who stop in along the Pocono Beverage Trail.
To be in this position now, so 10 years ago, there wasn't a single brewery around here. And now it's, you pick a direction and just go, and you're bound to find 2 or 3, so we're happy to be one of them.
With beer brewed to rock. Check out the Jam Room on Facebook and Instagram and raise one up for Rick when you get here.
We live it, we brew it. See you at the Jam Room.
Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network.
Everything you'd expect from a getaway in the Pocono Mountains is right here in Jim Thorpe. And now there's an app for that. Exploring places to dine, shop, play, and stay, all just a tap away. And in addition to the app, Jim Thorpe's official website has a brand new home on PoconoMountains.com. Just visit jimthorpe.org. And speaking of new, there's a new historic walking tour being offered seasonally in the downtown. I'm here with lead tour guide Joe. She's going to give us a preview. Should we get started?
Sounds good. Let's get started.
You know Jim Thorpe as the booming tourist town, rich with Victorian charm. But let's travel back to the 1800s, when it boomed during the Industrial Revolution, thanks to the local discovery of anthracite.
Join me as we travel through history when coal was king and the Golden Age ruled.
Welcome to Millionaires Row, where the wealthy coal mine owners, railroad investors, and bankers once lived. U.S. Congressman Milo Dimmick's family house is now a bed and breakfast, while the home of Civil War General Charles Albright most recently housed an Italian restaurant.
And his home was considered to be a grandiose mansion, which when we think about mansions today, we think about the large homes that we see on TV.
The Dolan House, another bed and breakfast on Millionaires Row, is where the town doctor lived and treated patients. Across the street, the former firehouse is now called Marion Ho's Bar, a popular spot for food and drinks. And check out the Maw Chunk Opera House, a vaudeville house turned movie theater after World War II.
Our historical opera house hosted such acts as Al Jolson, who was later on known for the jazz singer, Gypsy Rosalie, as well as the Dorsey brothers, who were from Lansford.
Speaking of well-known visitors, the Inn at Jim Thorpe hosted a few as well.
Back in the heyday, Ulysses S. Grant stayed here, as well as Teddy Roosevelt on his way to upstate New York.
Next door, Jim Thorpe National Bank is another stop on the narrated tour. Visitors can even have their picture taken inside this 100-year-old vault. Pretty cool, right?
It was originally founded by Morgan Powell. He was a coal boss, needed a place to put his money.
And you know that famous film, The Molly Maguires, featuring Sean Connery and Richard Harris? It tells the story of Irish coal miners who began retaliating against their harsh work conditions. 7 of those Molly Maguires, as they were called, were imprisoned and executed at this jail.
It was built in 1871, and it's very foreboding.
Today, you can tour the old jail museum and see the famous handprint that one Molly Maguire left behind. as a declaration of his innocence. Despite being washed, painted, and replastered, the mysterious handprint never went away. And although the courthouse where several Molly Maguires went on trial has since been torn down, the presiding judge, Samuel Dreyer, still watches over from Jim Thorpe's current Courtroom 1, which is adorned with intricate designs and Tiffany stained glass windows.
This particular courtroom was not built until the 1890s. The gallery itself, though, was featured in the Molly Maguire movie.
These 45-minute historic walking tours are available through St. Mark's and St. John's Episcopal Church on Race Street. They're offered memorial through Labor Day, then by appointment during the autumn season, with fall foliage as the perfect backdrop. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine, we meet the people of Hawley and learn what makes the community so special. And taking a hike, where and how you can experience some impeccable trails in the Poconos.
You know, he's been pacing all day long.
And he keeps asking, what are we going to do about inflation? Are you catching him pacing out there?
Oh, we got him.
We've got to come up with a plan.
Pocono's vacation is such a value.
Won't make the guide free.
Hasn't it always been free?
Not now. He's on a roll.
Value, easy drive. We could beat the inflation.
Yeah, beat vacation inflation.
For your free guide, go to PoconoMountains.com.
This is my idea of relaxation.
Hi everyone, it's Jim Hamill here in downtown Hawley. This historic town is home to so many different people who make it so special and a wonderful place to work, live, and visit in any season. So we wanted to introduce you to some of those folks and the organizations and businesses that they represent so that countless people who come here leave with a smile on their face.
You know, the natural waterways just enhance all the beauty that is around us. From the days when my grandfather got things started in 1958, where there wasn't quite as much here, to today, we've tried to develop around that sensibly and carefully to enhance that beauty, and I think Hawley's done the same thing.
We began our history in Hawley really about 44 years ago, and we were very fortunate that we had some good press when we first started, especially here at the Settlers Inn, so we were able to bring more business into the area.
And really a lot of that was about historic buildings, adaptive reuse. It added to the ability to really set a sense of place for the community.
We've taken a town that has been a, Memorial Day through Labor Day kind of town and turned it into a real year-long destination for people to come and stay. And, you have amazing art programs. We have our different festivals throughout the year. Both breweries that we have in town, winery, we have this building, we have Harmony in the Woods, we have the rail bikes, a lot of shops came in.
Hawley is great for families. That's what I love about it. You can feel it's up and coming and it's energetic. From doing antiques to coming out to Costa's, you add in the everyday things like farmers markets, and it's really a well-rounded place for people to visit and to live.
I met my husband when we were working in DC, and we knew we wanted to raise our kids in a smaller town. This kind of encompasses everything that we really wanted: the small town network, the not a lot of traffic, and the school district is great.
It's great to see a lot of the younger generation, the next step behind me, that are doing buildings and businesses in this area that you haven't seen before. And they're creating different avenues to attract different types of tourism. And it's great. And I agree also with the rails and the trails and bringing people in through using the train system. There's a lot of nature in this area, and you can do anything here year round.
It's a very economical
vacation for many. For people to drive up to here from Philly, from Delaware, from New York City, New Jersey, this is an easy one, and it's to our advantage to keep it going here.
Here working at the winery, I've found people from all over the United States are now visiting Hawley, Pennsylvania, which is very interesting. But it's also really cool because you get to talk to all of those people, you get to learn their walks of life, get to learn where they come from. So it adds a lot of diversity to our community.
We have a group from Colombia that was nominated for a Latin Grammy, and to see their lineup, their tour lineup, is hilarious because it's New York, Philadelphia, Hawley, Washington, Madrid, Paris, Barcelona, you know, and Hawley is right in there. It kind of puts Hawley on the map.
There are so many different trails throughout the Pocono Mountains, great for different ages and abilities. Many are open throughout the year as well.
Absolutely, Brianna. And one of our contributors, Justin Conti, decided to take a hike and show you his viewpoint of a lot of those trails. Here's one of them, and you can find all the rest at poconomountains.com/hiking. Enjoy.
I'm here at Raymond-Skill Falls, and it's home to the biggest waterfall in Pennsylvania. Let's head over and check it out. This trail is great for beginners and the view is phenomenal. For more about hiking in the Poconos, you can visit poconomountains.com/hiking. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Justin Conti.
Still to come on Pocono Mountains Magazine, we've got a look inside the 4-H operation here at the Wayne County Fair and what agriculture means to the Poconos overall. Stay tuned.
Horses and healing, coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
It just goes to show what can be done if you have the right surgeons and the right doctors.
Because I was concerned with the mass that I saw in her abdomen, I knew she just needed to go to surgery as soon as possible.
The diagnosis was one cancer appendiceal, and whatever need I would have, I knew she was going to address it. That impressed me.
At the Lehigh Valley Topper Cancer Institute, we have a team of experts who are specialty trained in their field.
Best word I can find, phenomenal.
In the Pocono Mountains, there's always a new season just around the corner.
And no matter what the season, there's always something exciting happening. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. The 4-season Pocono Mountains. Visit us at poconomountains.com.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Hamill, here on the front deck of the Lake Wallenpaupack Visitors Center overlooking Lake Wallenpaupack. It's a beautiful scene any time of year, but especially as we're approaching fall. And I've got with me 3 gentlemen who know a little bit about the fall season. To my right, your left, Jeff Seidel is a photographer based here in Hawley, and he has captured some exquisite scenes across the Pocono Mountains. And to my left, a southern Monroe County native, but as service forester with DCNR, Garrett Beers. And to his left, your far right, Mr. Tim Wright. He's the excursion manager for Stourbridge Line based in Honesdale that traverses the railroad from Honesdale through Hawley all the way to Lackawaxen and has fall foliage excursions planned for this fall as well. So gentlemen, thank you again for joining me here on Pocono Mountains Magazine. We wanted to get right into
what we're about to experience here as these leaves change color. Amazing views here throughout the majestic Poconos. Jeff, you've captured some of those, and what is it about capturing the vibrant fall foliage with all those contrasting colors every season?
It just draws you in, and you don't know where to stop, and you're always watching the traffic behind you and trying to find a place to pull over.
It just captures you, you know, each and every day, whether it's morning, noon, or evening, you know. Describe to me some of the best shots that you might have had. We were going over some of those recently, you know, whether it's Lake Wallenpaupack or the river, you know.
Well, it sneaks up on you, and like you said, second week in September it starts, and you go for a hike maybe at Promised Land State Park, and you're strolling along the little creek that feeds the lake, and all of a sudden there's this branch there in bright red color that's, you know, peeking at you. It's coming. It's coming.
It is, and we are very fortunate here in the Poconos to have a pretty lengthy season, you know, multiple weeks, especially from the northern part of the Poconos to the southern part, from Pike and Wayne counties through Monroe to Carbon. Garrett, you know a little bit about how the Forestry Service then looks to notify people of how things are going to pan out, whether it be peak season, whether it be the, you know, beginnings of the fall foliage turn. What can people expect to learn from the Forestry Service over time as we go into September through October and into November?
Okay. Well, every week we put out a fall foliage report throughout the counties. Each one of our forest districts puts one out across the state. That'd be 20 different forest districts. And I believe it usually starts around middle of September and then rolls all the way through peak leaf season, middle to end of part of October, and then usually ends around the beginning part of November, depending where you are in the state. Colors will start a lot higher up in the elevations, up in northern counties, and they'll work their way south as October fades out.
And each and every year, I mean, there's no easy formula to determine what year to year it'll look like. It's probably dependent on weather, saturation from Mother Nature, and everything else.
There's a lot of different factors that play into it. You definitely have, I mean, droughts, excess moisture can play a part into it. Have all those sorts of things. Early frost in the fall is a pretty good one to really change the leaf colors. But usually in around our area, northern Monroe, central Pike, usually about the second to third week in October is usually peak leaf season.
All right, we'll put it on the calendar then. And as far as the calendar goes too, a lot of events coincide with the fall foliage season, including train excursions. Tim, talk to us a little bit about what the Stourbridge line tries to do for its riders each and every season. I know you've been on many of those fall foliage excursions. What's planned for this fall for the Stourbridge line?
Our plan for this fall is like our previous years, to give a nice relaxing rail excursion along the Lac-Waxen River. And starting out with our Pocono Foliage Express, we start that at the end of September, and that goes all the way through October. And we've actually had people come over multiple times throughout the year to see the change of early leaf change in the end of September to the peak in about the second week there, and then almost at the end of the month as well. And we do our different event trains as well during October, like our pumpkin patch train. We're just trying to do a whole family fun experience that can come up to the Poconos, check out the area, ride the train, and check out everything else we have up here.
There's a ton going on up here, from the small towns to, you know, like Tim said, you've got fall season with the pumpkins picking there at your property there in White Mills area. And to think of how many people come here to experience this, but we live here, guys. Like, that's the really kind of unique thing, is that we get to experience this every day we wake up to every moment that we go to sleep. Jeff, how special is it to like be here in the Poconos as you see the seasons shift?
I mean, it's incredible to see the seasons come on you, and then you wonder where you're going to go to look at things, you know? So we're lucky we have the airport up here really close to town, and I went up in a plane up there. I've only done it once, but it was fantastic, and some of the images you're probably going to see in this segment is you're going to see what the view is, and it's just incredible. But you don't have to go up in a plane. There's many other places. There's high points that you could go visit, and you can see the vista with all the colors just erupting. And if you do it early in the morning, you get the nice mist coming off the water, and it's just gorgeous.
That top of Tanglewood was one that really kind of stood out, right? You can see right down to the lake here, and just that shifting change throughout the river banks here, 52 miles of shoreline. That offers a very wide palette, does it not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Garrett, what are some of your favorite spots here? I know you guys manage Delaware State Forest. That ride along 402 is spectacular in the fall season. Any other spots that you can kind of point people out to from the state parks or anything else?
I can't really speak for state parks, so to speak, because we're different. All DCNR, but we're managed a little bit differently, so I really don't do a lot over there in the state parks. So the best place you can usually find some really good fall color is around the swamps. We have tons of water around the area. Get some of the smaller backcountry swamps. You have a nice red maple around the outside of them. The blueberry mix in there as well. One of the first places that really start to change is always really nice. Reminds you a lot of Canada if you're familiar with going up there. You'd think you're honestly a couple states up north. It's pretty crazy how it actually looks different than most of our surrounding forest. Other place you get really good views is you hike up to High Knob Fire Tower. That's in central Pike County. Phenomenal views. You can see all the way into the Adirondacks, all the way down Delaware Water Gap, Blue Mountain. You can see really far, especially on a nice day that doesn't have a lot of humidity.
Yeah. And that's what we're known for here in the fall season. You know, the perfect temperatures, the perfect visual cues, and then you can sit back along the Lackawaxen River, Tim, and you can experience all that, and you can experience wildlife. A lot of bald eagles. What else do you see along the tour for the Pocono Foliage Express?
A lot of bald eagles. We like the fall a little bit better than the summer right now because the leaves are starting to come off the trees, so it's a little easier to see those eagles. And then deer, turkey, geese, ducks, rabbits, bears. We see a lot of different variety of wildlife on the train. Can't guarantee every single train out that we'll see an animal because, you know, of them being wild animals, but usually we see a good variety every time we're out in the tracks.
And this year, again, like previous years, the Pocono Mountains are in the running for 10 best, USA Today 10 best destinations for fall foliage. And so people can go to PoconoMountains.com/vote to vote once per day for the Pocono Mountains. We've come in second and third in previous years, so this year we want to come in first because there's so many people, I think, who appreciate the value of like the natural surroundings that we have here. So again, head to PoconoMountains.com/vote to vote for the Poconos. Is there anything else you guys would like to leave us here talking about what the fall season means to you, especially from a visual standpoint, Jeff?
Well, I really love it when the seasons overlap. So in the last 15 years probably, I've caught it where the snow came while the leaves were still in full color. So that's just a special thing when that happens.
It certainly is.
It's probably not good for the trees, but yeah, it's gorgeous.
Or for my wardrobe, having to break out that winter stuff just a little bit sooner than I thought.
Right.
Garrett, anything that you'd like to share, especially from a forester's standpoint? I know that you certainly think about the ecology and everything else that goes with it. It's nice to see this area, you know, continue to thrive, I guess, from that standpoint, right?
Yeah, it's cool to see people actually come out and use the resources we have and we protect. We spend a lot of time and resources in the state forest system really managing it for public recreation, so it's nice to see people out there actually using the state forest. It's also a cool time in the fall to really see all the wildlife migrations, see how everyone's preparing for the winter time. I'm a big waterfowl guy, so I really like to hear the migration. You'll be out there in the woods and you'll hear geese all day long flying down the Delaware River going south, so that's kind of cool. It kind of makes you feel like you're starting to, winter time's coming. You gotta start making a lot of preparations and button everything up before the snow comes.
That's a good reminder. And Tim, I know that you will be out there on the train this season. What do you want to leave people with, some lasting reminders of what they can really experience here in the Poconos for the fall season especially?
Fall season, just the beautiful everything that we have here. You trip up to come to visit the area and then hop on the train, do all our fun activities, you know, maybe have some apple cider and donuts and just enjoy that favorite fall time.
You know, you're speaking my language right there with those apple cider and donuts. Again, we're going to have at PoconoMountains.com/fall. There will be a link for the fall foliage forecast. Like Garrett said, it'll be updated through the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and the foresters each and every week to let you know when peak fall foliage season is here in the Poconos throughout the different regions here. So head to PoconoMountains.com/fall for that fall foliage forecast this September and October up until November. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on Pocono Mountains Magazine. From the Lake Wallenpaupack Visitor Center, it's Jim Hamill, and we'll send it back to the show.
The residents of Monroe County have been overwhelmingly supportive of St. Luke's. Over the past 5+ years, we have just grown beyond our expectations. We want to continue to meet their needs, and so we are now planning to expand and double the size of our campus.
We've learned a lot since we've opened in 2016. We've adapted to a lot of different challenges.
As we start on our expansion, I'm proud to be part of the future vision of this campus.
If you're searching for a fun and rewarding career that's also secure and sustainable, look no further than tourism and hospitality. Especially here in the four-season Poconos, where it's the #1 industry, there are endless opportunities for growth and advancement over time, plus competitive wages. Now let's meet some local students, the next generation of hospitality leaders, who are being awarded for their hard work.
Guest Services, this is Savannah speaking. How can I help you?
Savannah Marino is one of the smiling faces ready to greet you upon check-in at Great Wolf Lodge in Scott Run.
I really enjoy the front desk because it's like the heart of the lodge.
She recently graduated from Pocono Mountain East High School and Monroe Career and Technical Institute. The hands-on experience through MCTI, plus this role, solidified she's pursuing the right career.
My dream job is to be probably HR. I really do enjoy that. Being an HR manager for either a Hilton or a Great Wolf, because I really enjoy being able to be around kids and families.
Savannah is one of 11 students who recently received scholarship funding totaling nearly $11,000 through the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau. That's a record number of recipients for the PMVB's annual initiative, designed to support and encourage high school graduates and undergraduate students as they pursue degrees in or related to hospitality and tourism. While Savannah is getting ready to enter Northampton Community College, Melanie Padilla just graduated from its hospitality management program.
The hospitality industry is one that's never going anywhere, and I think the pandemic is a perfect example of that. It was hit really hard during the pandemic and still managed to pull its ranks and get itself up. Everybody's going to want to go out to eat. Everybody's going to want to go travel somewhere at some point.
Melanie plans to continue her education while working the full-time dream job she landed at a local summer camp. She gains valuable training over the years at various resorts in the Poconos.
The most important thing to me is being able to meet new people and being able to create experiences and memories for different families coming from all over the place.
Josephine Melanzi also graduated from NCC. She moved from Malawi in Southeast Africa to the Poconos to pursue a degree in hospitality and currently works at Woodloch Pines Resort.
It is like a wonderful experience because you get to work with different people from all different sorts of backgrounds, different countries, different states, and it's, you know, like meeting people, welcoming them in is the greatest aspect that I love about working in the hospitality industry in the Poconos.
Josephine aspires to one day become the general manager of a large hotel or resort. She's confident there are plenty of opportunities for herself and anyone else preparing to enter the workforce or make a career change.
Could be in accounting, it could be marketing, whatever major people have, they can use that major in the hospitality industry.
Take it from recent Jim Thorpe area high school graduate Ella Farnell. She is interested in public relations and looks forward to seeing how she can apply her skills.
Everyone tells me I'm a people person. I love communicating, I love talking. I'm really into that and like being out and about and outgoing, and I don't really want to sit behind a desk and work in business all day.
So take note of these faces because they might just be the ones you see on a future visit to the Poconos. Interested in what hospitality has to offer? Head to PoconoMountains.com/jobs where you can browse dozens of full-time, part-time, and seasonal positions available right now, ranging from entry to executive level. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Hey everyone, it's Jim Hamill here at the Wayne County Fair, and it's the 160th year for this agricultural event near Honesdale. And each and every year, generations of families have been raising livestock here through 4-H and then auctioning them off the last Saturday of the fair. And so it's a tradition. And that means that agriculture has a very special place here in the Poconos, and we wanted to share that with you, our viewers.
The sun was only just starting to come up when Mackenzie and Wyatt Wiest got to the Wayne County Fairgrounds to tend to their cows. The brother and sister had already spent the entire week here as part of 4-H.
We've been working up to this week for the whole year. With these guys, they were born last May, April, so we've been working with them since the time they were born.
The sheer amount of work these kids put into raising their prized animals is astounding. Every morning, up early, feeding, cleaning, and learning a legacy of agriculture.
Usually we're up around 5:36 to go over and do barn chores. And like in the morning it feels like a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun to do it with your family.
Wyatt and Mackenzie may have a few years left in 4-H, while Michaela and Matthew Stone of Stone Valley Farm in Hamlin are finishing their chapters and beginning new ones.
My passion actually started in 4-H. My dad started us very young. The day I came home from the hospital, he put me in a tractor, and it just kind of all unfolded from there. 4-H kind of set me up for what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
For Michaela, that means studying to be a large animal veterinarian. 4-H and farming sparked that passion, and now she and her brother are grateful for the experience of this fair, 4-H and farming.
The friends that I made along the way, I mean, winning's fun, but you know, the people you meet, like the journey is what it's all about.
And winning is just what Matthew finished his 4-H career doing. By the end of the Wayne County Fair, these kids had to part ways with their animals at auction. Bittersweet for them, yes, but an invaluable learning experience for the next generation of Wayne County farms and farmers.
In 4-H you learn like how to help each other and how like to have good sportsmanship. Like so if you don't win the class, you don't get mad and cry, and like you just kind of say good job to whoever won, and it's usually pretty fun. For me it's a big deal because like somebody has to put the food on the table and kids learn it, and I've had a few kids come up to me and say that they want to do it this year, which is very good because agriculture is dying, so with younger kids involved it would be better.
These traditions, a part of the agri-legacy of Wayne County and the Northern Poconos. Watch for more stories soon on Pocono Television Network about the farms and farmers who are working hard to keep the industry alive. Jim Hamill, Pocono proud in Wayne County for the Pocono Television Network.
Coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine, how horses are helping to heal.
East Stroudsburg University, dozens of degree opportunities, taught by exceptional faculty, exciting campus life, and the beauty of the Poconos. ESU, where everything you want is closer than you think.
If you like excitement, come try our indoor water park. Go to PoconoMountains.com.
There are plenty of horseback riding stables here in the Poconos, but if you think you know what this next story is about, think again.
Hi, Susie.
Hi.
Welcome.
Like so many others, Susie felt isolated, anxious, and frustrated because of the COVID-19 pandemic. She found a remedy, therapy of sorts.
And I jumped on that, and I'm so glad I did.
This is her release.
I had never had a horse share with me my situation and be receptive to being a part of helping me and relaxing me.
Adrienne Primrose founded Blissful Existence Healing Acres in 2020, combining her love for horses and holistic healing. From this quiet 90-acre property in East Stroudsburg, she offers equine gestalt coaching and meditation sessions in groups or one-on-one, plus workshops and retreats.
I've heard from literally every client that has come in that when they come underneath that gate or the trellis, there is this sense of overwhelmingness of calm and peace.
Clients can come on a weekly basis or for a unique one-time experience while visiting the Poconos. You won't ride or be assigned a horse. Instead, they'll choose you.
Clients come in with a trauma of some sort, so it really depends on the person. It could be childhood trauma, it could be emotional trauma, physical trauma, abuse, sexual, child abuse. And we help the client come home into their body and to become aware and allow their body to speak so that they can release and let go of the trigger from that situation that happened in their life.
And many of these horses were rescued from their own traumatic situations. The herd of 8 includes former race horses and a wild Mustang.
They are very energetic beings. They work very high with the energetic vibrations, and they actually feel all of our energies right now.
Today, Susie feels calm, confident, connected, and complete. Time here has taught her there are always brighter days ahead.
You leave here with a mellow heart, and you leave here balanced, and you do take that with you.
Horses and humans helping each other to heal. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Brianna, that's an amazing mission those horses are on at that property near East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, it definitely was a great story. And we just want to remind you that events are still going strong here in the Poconos when it comes to autumn and fall foliage. And then looking ahead next month to October, there will be plenty of other events and haunted attractions. So you can find more on PoconoMountains.com/events.
And you can also head to pickupthepoconos.com to sign up for Pick Up the Poconos Day, September 24th, to get out there and help keep this area clean and green. So we'll see you next month for Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm Jim Hamill.
And I'm Brianna Strunk. We'll see you next time.